Okay, well, it's 7:02. Let's get started. This is the Wednesday, May 27th, 2026 meeting of the Elkin Conservation Commission. We have a quorum present. We have 4 members in the room here, and Chris Dodd is on the phone. And there's 2 members who I suspect will join us eventually. First thing on the agenda is an RDA for 146 West Blue Road, installation of a swimming pool.
Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act that the Upton Conservation Commission will hold the following public hearing on Wednesday, May 27, 2026 at 7 o'clock. Request for determination of applicability filed by Lisa McClellan for the construction of a swimming pool within existing lawn area at 146 West.
Good evening, Hoffman Dennis with Alpha Omega Engineering. My client is proposing to install an in-ground pool in the backyard. This is the existing tree line. There are no trees to be cut. It's right now it's a grass area. The wetland line was determined before a few years ago when they built the house a couple years ago. The wetland markers are in place and were located. So we're just doing a fiberglass pool. We're gonna do some thinning water to reduce the amount of grading. Your work will be on the 50-foot buffer. Everything is outside the 50-foot buffer. You can start very simple project.
It's all on existing lawn.
Yep, no trees to be cut.
How do you propose to manage wastewater?
This is a fiberglass, so it doesn't have to increase the pool in the spring or in the fall.
So there's no need to empty the pool when you're during construction for that.
No, I'm the installer. So with fiberglass pools, benefit of them is you never have to replace a liner, so you never have to drain the water. If you maintain the water, we'll be maintaining. You never have to drain the water. Gunite pools, they crack. You have to replaster. That's not the case here. So it's basically a maintenance-free type of pool.
What about back flushing for the filter?
So with this, if we go with a cartridge filter,
You just see this.
Okay.
So you're not anticipating any wastewater discharge?
correct.
Is Mary?
Mary's,
Okay.
sharing it.
This is
Okay.
So that, are there any questions on this call?
it's in the back.
Yeah.
And the markers. at the end.
It's in law.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if Mary has looked at this or not, but it seems pretty simple.
She's done a staff review.
She has. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I think,
believe we were in contact with her yesterday.
Yes.
she had a recommendation to issue negative determination with standard pool conditions. No draining of the pool into the wetlands, requiring dry well for pool draining, and recommending that the pool should not be treated for a week before draining to allow chemicals to dissipate. Ensure pH is between 6.5 and 8.5 for draining pool, which doesn't seem to be relevant with the fiberglass pool.
Yeah, so you're not going to be draining the pool at any time?
No.
Okay, so what was that, -2, 3?
I think it's usually negative. Oh yeah, she told me, but I forgot to write it down. Negative.
Well, you
Two.
just said it there, right?
It didn't have the numbers. I think it was like +2 because the wetland boundary has already been delineated because of the construction of the house, and then -3 and 6. The standard ones she usually does.
Okay, well, any further questions?
No, no.
I'll just make a motion to issue a negative determination. We'll figure out exactly what it's gonna say.
Have it here, sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole form. Okay, positive determination 2A, boundary delineations are confirmed to be accurate. And then -3, the work described is within the buffer zone, but will not alter an area subject to jurisdiction under the act. And then the conditions are already last year, and -6, not subject to additional.
I have one question.
Sure.
For future reference, and just for, personal, knowledge. If the client is more apt for a sand filter, because, sometimes the cartridge filters will have a hard time just figuring out. They said that, you could do a dry well. What would that consist of that you guys would, require? Is it just like a small, pit of stone, or how would you go about that?
Dry well.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something very simple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dry well
yeah.
on the outside the buffer.
Just something that would prevent surface water from running into the wetland.
So if that was the case, that for some reason they decided to change to a sand filter, that's already in our conditions that we can easily do.
Yeah,
Well, you should notify Mary.
Okay, but we don't have to come in front of you guys again if we make that small. Okay,
And you have to install it outside. So it has to be somewhere here, and then they come it out.
no problem at all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
so motion to issue a negative, positive and negative determination as written by our administrator.
Second.
Any discussion?
No,
Ready, hearing no discussion, Mike, aye.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Lauren? Oh, Chris said aye. Thank you, Chris. Lauren, you,
Shannon.
yeah, oh, Shannon, I'm sorry. And Marcella?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, well, that's, which, unanimous members present. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you guys very much.
Tom said he likes her hat, but I like her t-shirt.
All right. We're on the right stuff.
Yeah.
Already efficient. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bikers are all the same.
So close enough to the LDP for East Street and our lot two. Living here, that one going to be continued, you think?
Yeah, this one and lot 1 are going to be continued.
Okay.
I can read the public hearing notice for lot 2. 710 land disturbance permit filed by F&D Realty, Central Realty Corp. For the construction of a single family house, driveway, septic system and associated grading and drainage located at A&R lot 2 East Street.
So I believe this will be continued, so Lauren, can I have a motion to continue this until when? So,
So they need requested,
June 10th?
yeah, the next meeting, June 10th.
that's already kind of
We can do 7,
7:10.
yeah, 7:10.
Motion to continue. June 10th, that's 7:10.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mike, aye.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Chris? Shannon, aye. Okay. That's the majority. Okay, so let's wait till 7:20 for East Street. It's right now 7:10. So let's go, administrators report. I don't think Mary's on, so we can skip that for the administrative report meeting minutes from May 13th.
Yeah, so I sent those around. Do you want me to share my screen? Do that too. I'm married to
Oh, great.
Scots.
Go back to administrative report.
I can do the minutes real quick when she gets. set. All right, so these are the minutes from May 13th. Did anyone have any comments or changes?
Hearing comments, motion to accept the minutes from May 13th as written.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. None, Mike, aye.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Chris abstained, so she wasn't. And then Shannon?
Shannon said aye.
Shannon said aye. Okay, thank you. Lauren, are there any documents to sign? No?
Yeah, so we could do the 146 West Row Road determination. Let's just. And then I also do have 2 vouchers. The
Yeah,
upstairs.
awesome. Oh.
We can use
Thank
Chris's
you.
stamp it there.
You sure?
Blanket.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Shannon just said she was having mic issues, so. Let's see. Mary, are you able to do the administrator's report? I can also share my screen.
I can try. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, if you can wait a minute, in a minute, it would be better.
Okay. No worries.
All right, we'll move on. So expense vouchers will,
Finish my report.
pass them up for now.
I can share my screen on those.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, so we have the Ecotech bill for peer review for Zero Mechanic Street, and that'll be paid out of their peer review fund account. And then a water bill for the community garden, that'll be paid to the DPW. And then
How much is the water bill?
$24.03.
Oh, goodness.
It'll be paid out of the community garden revolving
Yeah.
fund. So, is that it? Okay, motion to pay voucher as discussed.
Second.
Any discussion? Micah,
All right.
Eleanor.
Sandy, I.
Chris, aye. And
Shannon, aye.
And aye. Thank you, okay, let's see, next, can we get Mary back? Open Space Committee is Bill Taylor.
Yeah, I believe he is.
The only thing I have to report is that the deed for the donation was sent to the law firm for recording. I would expect to see that it's been recorded either tomorrow or Friday.
That's for the Warren Brook.
Yep, the 2.75 acres in Warrenbrook.
Okay, thank you. Land Stewardship Committee update. Well, our interns have been busy. They finished, just a few things I've done so far. They finished boardwalk at Robertson's. They pulled a whole bunch of garlic mustard at Pixie's Park. I think they're gonna do some more invasive. Thanks, Tom. You were the one who.
Well, I noticed that.
You noticed it, yeah, I was in the.
There was a lot there.
Yeah, they pulled a lot. They filled like about 8 bags or so. They're gonna do more invasive work tomorrow at District 9. And I think they did some mowing already at Stephens and some other places. So they've been busy. They also visited Haworth Glen, which we had a site visit with Bob Hatch, the person who's gonna be building or rehabbing the boardwalk at Haworth Glen. And then the boardwalk that goes across Warrenbrook. And so Mary, I, and Owen and Mary Reed all met Bob and came up with a plan. The about 30 feet of the 90-foot long boardwalk is going to have railings for fall protection. The areas mostly where the drop is greater than 30 inches. And he's gonna be getting us a revised cost estimate for that. So hopefully that'll be constructed sometime this summer. I need to try to get a hold of Mr. Howarth. See, I should ask you, Sandy, do you have his contact information?
I don't even know if they're at the farm anymore.
That's why I don't know either. I've seen him there very
Yeah.
sporadically.
Yeah.
I don't really have a
Okay,
contact.
okay. I mean, like,
I have their cell phone numbers. Yeah, that's.
to me, right in the line, because one, possibly the easiest access in would be Zerton's property. We can come in through the trail if we need to, the trail that starts at the pump station, but
I actually saw, a wooden post, a 4x4, and I wondered if that meant that there would a realtor sign was going up there.
Yeah, it's been there for a few weeks, you know.
That sign, yeah, I know,
No
but no realtor sign.
sign. I saw him playing with them.
Yeah, don't know what's gonna happen there.
it might be worth talking with SVT to see if they have any interest in talking with Mr. Howard about a car vacuum. SVT talked with him quite a few years ago, Chris Collins, that he wasn't interested in selling at that time. It wouldn't hurt to look like this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And see if maybe something could be worked out. It's almost all wet once you get above its field.
Yeah.
Where the barn is.
He's logged most of it, so. He's logged most of it, so he's taken, a lot of the value out, so it might be open to it.
The next step,
So, land stewardship, I think, what else? I did want to talk a couple things. One is, Mary asked if, our intern Owen could use chainsaw. And want to run that by you guys. I had probably have some concerns, not about Owen, but just about whether, anyone who uses, an employee who uses a chainsaw, they should have training. The alternative would be Scott has been doing a lot of our chainsaw work lately. And he could work with Owen and Mary Reed to clear this. There's, tree falls across trails that you can clear. That kind of work. So I wanted to run that by you folks.
How big is this, the land stewardship saw? Is it like-
Well, good question. Listen, I'm not sure we have one that's operational.
I mean, if it's something, a chainsaw with a 20-inch
I've got a little guy.
blade is a lot
That even
different
I
than
can
16-inch.
use.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
20-inch power.
20-inch blade, yeah. That's what I'm calling it, yeah.
yeah, Scott,
So, yes,
Scott was using.
is Owen used chainsaws?
But
Then if he's used them, I think it's fine. If Scott wanted to watch and work it just to make sure he's safe, but I mean, how is Scott qualified to train him?
Right, well, that's true. Wildlands Trust, which is a land trust in Southeast Mass, they offer chainsaw training. I don't know when their next training is gonna be, but they, I think it's a 2-day training. And, but really good, and it focuses on like doing trail work.
I was gonna say, because it's very different taking down trees and stuff than doing trail work. I mean, that's a whole nother level. Trail work is
You're just
Really
talking
about-
about,
where
Liz,
the
things.
weight is and.
It can be tricky, but.
I know. I've pinched the bar down.
I wonder how the DPW handles this with their new people or whatever. They could tell us what.
So where is the trail work needed and what needs to be done?
One, I know there are some at Peppercorn that we've heard about, but Owen and Mary Reed, they walked, you remember where they walked?
I know where they walk.
Gary, thank you. Where did they walk?
They walked, I think Owen walked Whitney East and Mairead walked the Haworth Glen, and they found a few like dead things like in the trail that would need a train saw. So I don't think this is like, you know, it's just stuff that's already down.
There's a big tree down near the little kiosk. Behind me. Jump over it, but
Well, let's, let's.
You're very good on that, yeah.
The other thing is insurance.
Right, yeah, I
Who's
just,
insured?
they are, but they're probably better insured than volunteers are. But, just as their employees.
I mean, it's no different than him using that lawnmower, right? The big one. I don't know.
I mean, it's like, it's strictly.
Yeah.
Tom mentioned getting changed stuff, I mean, that's happened to me.
Yeah.
Other times over the years. Then you have to. The log sends it down on your
Right.
bar, and then what do? You walk up, find another chain.
I would carry two.
Say a lot of bad
I
words.
just have a PV with me.
Or if you remember, you bring your wedges,
Yeah.
with you, which, so it's. I was just maybe, they go out with Scott, and also, we don't own a chainsaw, and that works. Scott uses his, and past I've used mine.
Yeah, and I
Use yours.
I'm happy to help and go out there one day, use my own saw, I mean, I've used it around.
We'll let them know to hold up on that until we get a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose you're right, though, I mean, I guess. Maybe, I think talking with DPW might be the best way to do that. Cause they use chainsaws.
Yeah. And maybe, I'll check to see when the next training of my own is. Do just for the heck of it. Another, land stewardship thing, talk about is, related to the trail work that we've asked them to walk all the trails to look for, down trees across trails, and so they started to do this. And also look for, potential widow makers, dead trees that are leaning over the trails. And I think they could probably use their own phones to kind of document these occurrences. But another option might be to purchase a tablet or a laptop or anything like an iPad.
Do you think they'd wanna carry an iPad through the woods or use their own phone?
Yeah, and then the iPad needs to be GPS. It needs to have a cellular service if you're out there.
Right.
You have to pay for it. Right.
I guess I'm just, I don't know all of the details.
You just look at,
with the
you
technology.
just want to take a photo?
Well, take a photo and then have it,
Notes.
they could write some notes, and they would also, have the location of the problem. Located, 30 feet or whatever the iPad is capable.
I mean, I think it's just easy for them to use their own phone, send themselves a message or send a message.
Yeah, unless they had a problem, I think they'd rather use their own phone than carry that. I think.
Yeah, I'd rather carry something smaller.
Yeah, I wouldn't carry that. Okay, I mean, you carry a clipboard, right, but not a lot of us.
Well, it's like, a lot of like land trusts have tablet computers or iPads to collect data, like for doing baseline reports or doing CR inspection. So there's technology out there. But okay, let's skip on that.
Just another note on that. Not that I'm asking for it, but I use my own phone for site visits. And technically, if there was ever a lawsuit or something, that means they could, grab my phone. So that's another reason why to get an iPad. But for my whole time I've ever worked for Concoms, I've always used my own phone. So, and I'm fine with that, but just wanted to let you guys know that's another point to that discussion.
Gotta keep your phone clean, Amir.
I know.
Oops, I lost my phone. Can't find it.
The swamp.
The commission does own 3 tablets that I think Fuel were using like during COVID,
Yeah.
but they haven't been updated.
They may have to be called e-wave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it's been years since, it was pre-COVID. Those
Yeah,
were
I remember we had them.
Yeah.
He brought them back, we tried to get them going, so.
Yeah,
I think
we
it's
still have them. And they like hold a charge and everything, but if they don't have like access to the internet or a data plan, then I don't know.
And GPS capability.
Yeah,
Okay, well, let's,
We're ready.
let's
Yeah,
do
ready
that,
for
and I think we
summer.
can leave, so we've actually got over the next hearing, which is at 7:20, that's NOI for East Street, A&R Lot 1, that's gonna be continued. Okay, so motion to continue the NOI for East Street, A&R Lot 1 to, let's say,
7:15.
7:15 on
6:10.
6:10.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? Hearing none, my comment.
No.
Sandy, I,
Shannon, I. Did that work?
Bye.
yes,
Thank you.
Chris, did you say aye? Yeah, Chris. And Marcella.
oh, she's here.
Okay.
Marcella, Marcella voted. I heard her.
Okay, so that's unanimous vote from everyone to continue that anyway. All right, next up in
Yes.
about 1 minute is the NOI for 0 Mechanic Street. I think we can start that. Do we have anyone from the
Hi, good
Yeah.
evening. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay, for the record, Travis Brown with Turning Point Engineering, on behalf of the applicant for 0 Mechanic Street. As some of you folks are aware, we had a site visit, last week just to view the open space. We walked in from Meadow Drive and walked along the brook, and some of us went down to Baker Pond as well. So I think that was the last kind of item we were working through with the Conservation Commission. I did meet with the planning board last night. That meeting will be continued to the next meeting in June. Presumably they would vote on the project. So pretty close to the end with them too. So unless there's any outstanding issues here that the commission sees, I believe everything has been addressed, and happy to answer any questions.
thanks, Travis. I can just give you a quick update from that site visit. We do, I think the people at the visit feel that there's excellent potential for a trail going from Pixies into the 0 Mechanic Street property along that old channel. And then I didn't do the walk all the way to Baker Pond, but I did ask Travis if the applicant would be willing to install a couple of small kiosks. Trailhead kiosks, one on Mechanic Street and the other at Pixies Park. And Travis, did you run that by your folks? Is that?
Yes, I did, and they're okay with that. Yeah, a couple small kiosks, enough to be able to put maps or literature, as the commission wishes. So, yep, no issue. If we want to add that as a condition into the order, I'm happy with that.
Let's see, anything else? Sandy, you were there? Anything?
No, I just wondered if Marcella saw anything specifically interesting on her trip down to Baker Pond.
It was a really nice walk, and I think Pixies Park was not used, but this gives us, this makes it part of a bigger and more interesting and appealing walkway. And you hardly see any houses. It's really, it shouldn't impose on anybody. So the trail down to the pond was lovely.
Okay, well, Travis, are we in position to close this hearing?
Mike, excuse me, Mike, can I just add, just on the, excuse me, are they adding two parking spots? Is that on Mechanic?
Did you,
Yeah, that will be added to the final set of plans. The other thing is we will provide the open space plan that I shared last meeting. That would have to be a recordable plan by the planning board to delineate basically the project, and then the open space that would then be conveyed to the town and or commission, whatever entity you see fit. So, yep, that will be incorporated 2 spaces off Mechanic.
So in terms of submittals, should we continue this hearing until we get the final plan submitted from you folks? I'm not sure what the status of plans we have right now.
Yeah, I was kind of holding off until we met with planning board. Anything that I would submit wouldn't be any new information that, we haven't discussed or hasn't been, reviewed. Could it be closed and conditioned to issue a final set? Or I could give you the final set that could be referenced in the order prior to Mary kind of releasing that.
Would you mind if we continued it one more time?
When would the next meeting?
Next June 10th.
June 10th. Okay, the only potential issue with that is planning board meets on the 9th and they would like to see this closed, which is kind of what we discussed on site.
Okay.
Kind of at a sticking point here a little bit.
Okay. Mary, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mary, if we close this tonight, I know you're headed off on vacation. Getting an order prepared in 21 days, that's gonna be kind of tight, right?
Yeah, it will be tight, but I believe if Travis sends us, something in writing saying that, they're okay with waiting, a month or whatever, that they waive the 21-day period, I think that's acceptable to DEP.
Okay, Travis, could you do that?
Yeah, we'd be willing to do that. Mary, would you anticipate it, at a minimum by the end of June?
Yeah, I would certainly think so. I'm returning on the 15th, so I think
Okay.
that 2 weeks would definitely, make that happen.
Okay. Yep. I'm more than willing to provide that, giving you some more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, any further comments from either the commission or anyone else in attendance? All right, hearing none, I would accept a motion to close this hearing. I'm not sure what the number is. Lauren, do we have?
The DEP number?
Yeah.
311-0849.
So 311-0849. Do we have a motion to close this hearing?
I'll move. Second.
Any further discussion from the commission? Okay, the only thing I would just add is that the applicant has agreed to give us a little bit more time to issue the order conditions. Thank you for that. So, all in favor, Mike, aye.
Tom,
Ellen, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
Chris said aye. So that's unanimous vote. Okay, the hearing's been closed and we'll get you an order, probably sometime, by early June.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and working through this with folks.
Not early June.
July.
No, we'll get it in early June. Mary will be back.
15.
On the 15th.
On the 15th.
Oh, you're right, Mary.
Probably I'll give you third week of June, Mary.
Yeah, well, we may want to we have a meeting on the 24th. We may want to run the conditions by the commission, or I'll send them around a draft. Maybe they don't have any comments, but I think we'll want to mention the CR and the bounds and and the kiosks and stuff like that. But I think that's mostly it.
Okay, so it would be prepared and then ultimately probably signed at that June 24th meeting is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ideally, we'll try to get you a draft that you can look at before the 24th.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Take
Thanks.
care.
Sometimes temporarily challenged. All right, so Next hearing is at 7:45 or 45 Milford Street. A little bit of time. We're at 7:37 right now. Is that one as far as you know gonna be, hasn't been continued, Laura?
Yeah, I think that's still on.
Okay, all right. Let's see, so we did the land search to the update, 2 Dogwood access easement questions. Mary, do you have anything to add about 2 Dogwood access?
Yeah, I met with Jake and Annie well over a month ago and just kind of talked with them about if we move that easement that's on their property, where they would really like to see it go. And and we had discussed this a year or so ago that they really would like to see it as far away from, their driveway as possible, going along the property line. And the more I thought about it, it just, why not, do that for them? Then they won't have anything breaking up their landscaping or anything. And, it's not that much for people to walk a little way around. It would kind of mean that they would, if you can picture it, there's the cul-de-sac and they would kind of walk along the edge of the woods and around to the railroad tracks. So they would walk a little bit extra, but it just keeps people away from their driveway and stuff. And that just seems appropriate. So if the board is okay with that, that's what we'll propose for an RFP to get a surveyor on that project.
Okay, are we talking about moving the fence too? Is that part of this?
Yeah, the fence is probably going to have to be moved because I believe the fence is actually on railroad property. So they have to move it anyway. But yeah, the fence will be, the people will end up walking behind the fence. The fence was going to get moved, and we probably will have to trim the trees a little bit as well, the pine trees.
So people will walk between the fence and the railroad.
Yes, people will walk between the fence and the railroad.
That's great, okay. And just to keep it on the list of things, so don't forget about it, is Dogwood Drive access the other end.
Yes.
And let that go.
Yeah, Jay Tallerman is supposedly looking at that. I'll have to ping him again. He hasn't gotten back to me in a while on that one.
Okay. All right, thank you. 39, our Forest Heights update. Well, I'm not sure what status was the last time we met, but the restriction holder has agreed to accept a payment from the town. And a whole bunch of paperwork, I think, is being worked on at this point. Closing could occur hopefully in sometime in early June. I'm working the baseline report. Kristen O'Brien will track me down if I don't get that to the group by June 10th. So in that. And then else. Oh yes, part of the baseline report. I want to let you know, I asked Kathy Taylor, emailed her a week or so ago to ask if she would like to contribute an appendix to the baseline report that would summarize what she's found out there in terms of indigenous features. Got an email back from her. She's very unhappy with this whole thing, with the commission, with everybody, because the language that she wanted included in the CR was not included. You can recall, SVT especially had some real trouble with paragraph that Kathy submitted, and they did some rewriting, but Kathy just isn't happy. So I don't think Kathy's going to be providing us with any information.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I'm still going to talk to her. I emailed her back, but I'm going to still talk to her and see if maybe she'll still relent and help out a little bit. But what I was planning on putting in the baseline report is a recommendation that an addendum to the report eventually be prepared, which focuses on the indigenous resources on the site. Maybe someone else has to prepare it other than Kathy. Because Kathy did find some things out there that I think we should know about, and to avoid, if we need to avoid them, setting developing trails.
I thought they didn't want anything noted about indigenous artifacts or anything. I thought that they didn't want people to know about that.
They don't want to mark and they don't want people to be aware they
Well,
want
they
them
did-
located on them.
The addendum could be confidential.
Okay.
For example, Kathy did something for the bar.
Yeah.
Natural area. And it's an appendix to the baseline report, but it's considered confidential.
Okay, all right.
The SCT considers it confidential. So, you know, and we already do know, that, there's a sensitive area where the first parking lot was proposed. We now have the ability to put the parking lot on the other side. And to avoid that whole area. And the other thing to know is, town meeting did give the selectmen authority to transfer this property to the care, custody, and control of the commission. So, I think the plan is right now, after the CR is signed, recorded, everything's done, the selectmen will vote to transfer this property over to the conservation commission, and then it'll be on us to build that parking lot, build the trails.
And has that been presented to the people that live next door?
Then it'll be up to the commission on
Yeah.
how much they want to coordinate those folks.
But they're aware.
I don't know about that. I
Well,
mean,
they're not.
and the people at 200 North Street, which are one house over, are very aware. They've been allowing us access to the property, but their neighbors, the ones, other than second their addresses, but it's just one lot to the north. But their house is set way different.
So the one abutter is aware and has been participating, and the other abutter on the north end.
Well, I don't think any of them know where the parking lot's gonna be.
Yeah.
Well,
They know that it's been marked, they know
They
that
know it's,
people have been through it, but I don't know that they know.
they know it's gonna be a conservation restriction.
I guess, you know, we have to, the commission has to decide where the park lot's gonna go. And personally, I definitely don't want it to go anywhere near this, the potential with cultural resource, indigenous resource. But it'll be up to you guys. Oh, I mean, it's gonna do it. But, you know, stay tuned, maybe by July or so, something have done the transfer. Clean this up.
What did they agree to pay for the property?
To pay for the restriction order,
Yeah,
$50,000.
150?
Yeah.
Well,
They asked for 300.
I know, that's why I asked the question. I didn't think that paid through the number.
150, and you know, fingers crossed, nothing is going to happen in the next few weeks, but apparently. Paperwork has been worked. We part of the closing for this town is paid 600 for the CR. CR is closed, Metacom and SVT have hired Deb Elias, an attorney that she's worked for years for both land trusts, so she's handled the closing. It's complicated close.
Okay.
Mike, can I just ask a question? I'm just curious where the money's coming from. At 150.
Out of it, I assume it's gonna be out of the 600. And the town is paying, let's see, SVT and Metcom, they're paying the town $600,000 for conservation restriction.
Okay,
That was part of that was raised by grant, part of it is.
okay,
SVT came up with 200, Metcom, a little more than 200, and the grant is 200. So I assume the town is gonna take their 150, but because it hasn't been appropriated in any way from town meeting. But, you know, town meeting back in 2021 gives the select board to do whatever they need to do to make this project happen, a very big substantive project on the property.
thank you.
So, that should get us to 7:45. It does. Any more questions before some?
Thanks for all your work on this.
Well, it's
It's a challenge.
it's always something, but this one is more something unusual, I think, but, it's gonna be a very nice conservation year. There's some really cool stuff out there. Okay, NOI for 45 Milford Street, continued from May 13th. Do we have anyone online for that?
Yes, I don't think so.
This is the construction of townhouses, 27 units. Milford Street. Across from the, roughly across from Gasco.
Anybody on?
Anyone on for that?
Somebody's hand up. No?
All right, well, I guess I'll just make a motion to continue the NOI. 45 Milford Street. So, yeah, what did we say, like 8:15?
Yeah, you do like 8:10 as well.
8:10, okay. 8:10 on June 10th.
Motion to continue 45 Milford Street to June 10th at 8 p.m.
Discussion. All right, hearing none,
All right.
Aye.
Sandy, I.
Dan and I.
Marcella, I.
Chris, you still there? Chris, not. Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see, 130 South Street, that was, I believe that was continued again.
Yes, it was.
So you want to give that a time? Although it's not, I think,
Oh, yeah, they want, July 14th. Just checking my email. Yeah, they requested the July meeting and then Mary's. Yeah, no time yet, but 7:00.
we're not quite at 8 yet. Mary, are you still there?
Yep.
Mary, is there anything you want to talk to us about in terms of agents report or administrative report, excuse me?
Yeah, I can talk through a few things.
Okay,
So at 45 or near 45 Milford Street, the culvert there. So DOT has started work on that. And so both Emily Church and I had a question of, what's the deal with the permitting with that? And I guess they have a 401 water quality cert, and they are somehow actually exempt from approval through the local Concom. But they are starting their construction, and I can forward along the 401 water quality cert. It does mention us, if they have issues with dewatering and stuff like that, or actually no, before they start dewatering, they need to let us know and stuff like that. So we are mentioned in it, but just for your information. And they are replacing, it's currently, I think it's currently 2 pipes, and they're replacing it with an open box culvert, which is about 9 feet by 7 feet. So that'll be a huge improvement over what is there. And if you guys remember, the Touchstone School has property in Lake Wildwood, both the island and like a little, on the land side, an access piece. And so it's mostly just wooded, but I guess apparently there used to be like a road on that land part that they want to kind of clear that out so they could drive a vehicle through there. So they were wondering if they needed a filing, but we went through it. They're not cutting anything big down. It's only small stuff. They assure me they're not going to put any gravel down or anything. So I told them they could go ahead and do the work. But if they, end up deciding they need gravel or something, they need to come before the commission. And then the person at 52 Main Street, which is right across from 47 Main, the new Lobister development, he was pretty active during, I think, the ZBA meetings, and just very concerned about runoff on his property. and I met with him there. So just to be aware of that. He kind of wanted to know that, you know, why the water right off that driveway is going into a curtain drain and then just dumping into culvert under the street, which will end up going by his property. It's not really being treated. But I guess because they're treating other stuff on the other part of the site, that's allowed. So Mike Antonellis assured me that it's all kosher, but that's just the state of it. And then if you guys remember, we wrote a letter to 61 Christian Hill Road. They had done some kind of tree clearing work and grading, you know, maybe 15 to 20 feet off the wetland. And I had asked them to submit an RDA. And I guess they submitted one to DEP, but not us. DEP was calling about it. So I have reached out to them and asked them to submit it to us as well. And so that's good. They responded on that. And I attended the select board meeting and presented the updated Crosswinds easement. And that was approved and signed by the board. And so now it's off to be recorded. So that's taken care of, which is great. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I think there's, I don't know if Lauren's pulled up my report. There's a few pictures. There's definitely some issues at 45 Milford because of the town sewer project. And hopefully that the GEG, which is the contractor, is cleaning that up. Emily Church assured me that she would talk to them. A couple new ADUs going in, one at, ADUs that are being done as ALDP, one on 31 Cedar Mill Road, and then another one at 146 East Street. And that's pretty much it. And there's one more thing that's not on the agenda, which I can mention now. We were contacted by the Native Plant Trust, and they're doing surveys again of rare plants, and they just wanted permission to continue their work in the Whitney Conservation Area. So if the board would just grant that, then they can go forward. And that's it.
Thank you for, at Whitney, they're looking for the large world begonia, which is in Orchid, which is.
What's it called?
The large world begonia.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Never saw.
It's at Whitney, it's also in Bonner, they're gonna go look for both, go to both places and look for it. It could be on the four sites too.
Is it in a woodland plant?
Yes. Because,
Okay.
Let's do something. Yeah, see this.
let's see,
Maybe we have one in our own backyard.
all of them. I think I just did it.
What's the name of it?
Large world begonia. I just did, see if it worked. I thought I did a screenshot, but I can show you guys.
I'd love to see
What
it.
it looks like. There's not much of a picture. But anyway, so I'll entertain a motion to allow the Native Plant Trust to conduct some non-destructive sampling or sense pit work. And Whitney Conservation Area.
Second.
Any discussion?
Will they be sharing information with us?
Yes, they will. We'll do that.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, Mike, aye.
Aye.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
And Chris, aye?
Yeah.
Chris, aye. Okay, thank you. All right, thanks, Mary. There's one more thing that came up late today that I want to talk about.
Sorry. It's an ad, you have to watch it before you get to the.
Okay, here's the, we got an email, this afternoon from Gene Brennan. He has a dam, a pond in his property with a dam. And the dam is it's a low berm, low earthen berm. And it's a pretty rough shape. There's beaver activity up there over the years. But he has some heavy equipment on site right now. His son is building a house nearby. And so they've got equipment on site for that. And he would like to be able to do dam repairs. And I talked to Mary about this. And, you know, I think what we'd like to propose is that we issue an emergency order and let him go ahead and do this work. And then, but require him to follow up with a notice of intent afterwards. Dean's very knowledgeable about construction, earthwork, things like that. His company did the capping, the landfill, where the railroad is now operating, so they have high confidence that we've done a good job there. And there's always a risk that dams can blow up. It's important, it's good to get it fixed sooner rather than later. So, any discussion on that?
Where is this?
It's off of Chestnut. It's on the conservation restriction.
Is he like on the corner kind
Kind of, yeah, but he's got about a 60-acre parcel that's protected with the conservation restriction, and the pond is within that
of?
parcel.
Yeah, up behind.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. It's the headwater pond, they call it Sterling Pond, STERLING, IG, and it's the headwaters of Taft Mill. Pond is that much that it flows their pond and goes through a very large wetland system, and eventually it gets to Taft Pond, and then goes on to this. So,
Okay.
beautiful pond, really.
Yeah, I've been back there
We'll do a site.
Some years ago, I was back there. They swim in it.
I'm sure it's not too deep. Little weedy.
But I thought, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I saw like floating stuff there when I was back. I mean, it was years ago.
Yeah, there's a canoe or two back there, I think. It's a really pretty fun beach pond. Chris, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Notice of intent or something you should talk about.
Chris, what we're gonna do is, if the commission agrees, is we're gonna issue an emergency order. And then I'll sign it since Mary's gone, and we'll allow them to get their work started. So, any further discussion of this? If not, I'll give a motion to issue a emergency order for repair of the dam at Sterling Pond off of Chestnut.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? My God.
Aye.
Ellen.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
Chris and I, so thank you, that's unanimous. I'll let you know that's the plan.
Did we vote to do the continuation from recent?
Thank you. There's a couple that we need to do, so I think we've got
8 o'clock now.
Okay, so we can have a motion to continue the RDA for 130 South Street, proposed 4-lot subdivision until July 14th at 7 p.m.
Somehow.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, my guy.
Tom, aye.
Ellen, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I.
Marcella, I.
Okay, thanks. Then I'm gonna take a chance and ask for us to continue that NOI for 100 Pleasant Street, which is the DPW facility. They were on 15, so they've asked to be continued. So you can, should we continue them until?
We did it 8/20.
Until the 10th?
June.
Rather than wait around till 8:15. Okay, so, good motion?
Motion to continue NOI for 100 Pleasant Street till June 10th, 8:20 p.m.
Second.
No discussion, Mike, aye?
Tom, aye.
Ellen, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon,
Chris,
I.
Marcella, I.
Okay, thanks. Does anyone have anything else? Or anyone?
75,
Um,
75
Yeah.
Bond Street.
That, I think it's not really gonna be continued because that hearing was already closed.
Yeah.
Chris, but I think, and Mary, I think, talked to the person at 75 Elm, and he wasn't gonna be available today, but we'll keep this on the agenda for the next meeting.
So we done? Wow. Wow. Motion to close the meeting, then?
Should I do that? Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
I won't even answer this yet. My time.
Tell them I.